Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here today. Another week pretty much in the books, and almost have the book of Proverbs in the books. So if you want to join me this morning, we will be back in the 31st proverb. We're going to be in one verse today. We're going to look at the 23rd verse. And again, I know that this is going to be a lesson, a topic that many uh, in our world today are going to maybe bristle at a little bit. But it's here. It's what the Word of God says, and we just have to wrestle with it and deal with it as best we can. Verse 23: Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. A wise woman, a virtuous woman, has a husband who is a leader in the community, and the wise woman supports the virtuous woman, supports and honors and respects that her husband and the position he has in the community. And I think before we get uh, too far down the road that may upset some people, I think it's safe to say if you read, and unfortunately due to time we're only taking this section by section, you have to look at this as a entire unit. And the reason I think what the book of Proverbs is saying is one of the reasons, anyway, that her husband is a community leader, one that is respected in the community, is because of all the labor that the wife puts in back at home. Again, notice this follows right after the verses that says she takes care of her family, make sure they have what they need, that they're when it snows, that she makes sure that she's dressed appropriately and the home is taken care of. And again, when it says the husband sits at the gates were like the city council building. That's where all the business of the town were conducted. All the business was done there. And again, before maybe some men get too puffed up with some of this idea. Again, I think it's important to understand. You've probably heard that saying, behind every good man is a great woman. I think that's the lesson we've come to in verse 23. Through all these verses and description of a good woman, one of the results of having a good woman, good wife in your life is that it makes it easier to be a good man. And she is a supporter. They work together. They help each other up. And I think the picture here is that again, that they are a unit. That she does what she does because of him. He does what he does because of her, which really knocks down a lot of popular thought today. A lot of very macho, arrogant men. Those kind of things. That they are the husband and the wife. They are a team. They work together, and she respects him, and I think by implication, he respects her. He appreciates the hard work that she's putting in, the labor that she does. And again, I understand, and I think you do as well, that our culture, our attitudes have changed a great deal since these words were written. In many cases, the lady of the house not only does have to make sure the children are clothed and all those things, but many times she's got a career that is equal to, if not more, than the husband's. She makes more money. She has a more I hate to use the word powerful position at work, but many women today have very powerful positions, CEOs of companies, those kind of things. But again, the principle here is still the same. That a wise woman, a virtuous woman, is still supportive of her husband. She still is encouraging to him, and that I think is the lesson here, that we are as couples. We're in this together. That the husband should be encouraging her, helping her where he can. That she should be encouraging him. Far too many marriages are one-sided. But I think as we take this whole again section on the virtuous woman, we see that it is to be a team, that they are both to work together, that it's beneficial to both of them. If the wife helps the husband and encourages the husband to meet his goals and to live up to his dreams, it can only help her. Same thing goes the other way. When the husband helps and encourages the wife, then it's got to be beneficial for him. We are, again, as a couple, for me, the lesson that comes out of all of this that is important is, again, we are together. The Bible tells us that they become one, that if one fails, they both fail. When one succeeds, they both succeed. I finished this morning by reminding you of a line from the wedding vows that were used in my wedding, and it is the wedding vows that typically I will use when I do a wedding, and it talks about the beauty, and I'm having to. It's a longer passage, but it talks about the beauty and the power of a couple. And it says this: when two share a sorrow, the sorrow is halved. When two share a joy, the joy is doubled. We need to remember that. Remember that it's not us against her, her against him. We are in this together. And I think that's the message that is really standing out in this passage. All right, you have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.